What is your plan to lower the cost of gasoline in the United States?
Well, this is something that people have been talking about quite a bit. We have been talking about energy prices for decades now, since the 1970s and the gas lines and OPEC's formation. And we have never developed a serious energy policy in this country. We never have. I mean, our energy policy is essentially written by the oil and gas companies. And so what has happened is that as China and India and others start demanding more oil, as people got nervous after the war in Iraq about supplies, the oil spot market skyrocketed, and ExxonMobil made $11 billion last quarter in profits. $11 billion. So they're doing very well, even though you're paying $3.50 at the pump. What can we do about it? Well, I do believe that we can go after some of these windfall profits to invest in increased refinery capacity, to invest in alternative fuel research. I think we should do that, and the refinery capacity is important because that can create bottlenecks that cause prices at the pump to increase. But I want to be very honest with you. I also think, by the way, that if we start having a more sensible policy in the Middle East, and we're not talking about war all the time with respect to Iran, that will have an influence on oil prices as well. To the extent that the economy is slowing down, that is probably going to lower demand for oil, and that will potentially bring prices down somewhat, although the problem is they're priced in dollars and the dollar is sinking, and that's creating a problem. So we've got to strengthen our economy. That will actually potentially reduce gas prices. But the main thing, and here's the hard truth, one of the things I try to do is not just tell people what they want to hear, but tell them what they need to hear. The hard truth is the only way to, over the long term, reduce gas prices is to reduce demand. And the only way to reduce demand is if we are creating more fuel-efficient cars, increasing gas mileage. And I went to Detroit. I gave a speech, not to the environmental groups, but to the automakers in Detroit, and I said, you need to change your ways. We will help you. We'll invest in coming up with alternative technologies. We'll invest billions of dollars in looking for alternative fuels like cellulosic ethanol. But you've got to be on board with this thing. Not only because that's the only way to reduce demand and bring gas prices down over the long term, but also because that's how we're going to create new jobs. See, this whole energy sector, there's no reason why we can't create millions of new jobs in solar and in wind and in alternative fuels. And we should be producing the most fuel-efficient cars here in the United States. We shouldn't wait until the Japanese make them and then we try to figure out how to copy them. We've got the best workers, the best scientists, the best minds, but we're not investing in it. That's why I've put forward a plan that says we're going to charge polluters for the carbon that they send in the atmosphere, and we're going to use billions of dollars to reinvest in these new technologies. That is going to happen, but I'll be honest with you. I won't get sworn in until January, so in the meantime, what kind of car do you drive? An Escalade? I'm sorry, man, but this is what I'm talking about right here. What mileage do you get on your Escalade? 8 miles a gallon?